we're asked to add, and we have negative 12.3 plus negative 21.44. Before we find the sum using the formal rules for adding signed decimals, we should be able to recognize that the sum is going to be negative because we have a negative plus a negative. If we think of a negative value as a loss, if we add two losses, we will have more of a loss. Now, looking at the formal rules, we'll use the rules for adding two decimals with the same sign because we have a negative plus a negative. Step 1 is to add the absolute values of the decimals. So let's begin by determining the absolute value of negative 12.3 and the absolute value of negative 21.44. The absolute value of a number is a number's distance from 0, and because distance is always positive, absolute value is always positive. So the absolute value of negative 12.3 is positive 12.3, and the absolute value of negative 21.44 is positive 21.44. And now we sum the absolute values, so we have 12.3 plus 21.44. When writing this sum, we need to make sure we line up the corresponding place values vertically. And notice how 21.44 has one more decimal place than 12.3. So if it's helpful, we can add a 0 here in the hundredths place value because 3/10 is equal to 30 hundredths. And now before adding, let's move the decimal point down into the sum, and now we'll add like we normally do. So 0 plus 4 is 4, 3 plus 4 is 7, 2 plus 1 is 3, and 1 plus 2 is 3. So the sum of the absolute values is positive 33.74, but we still need to make sure we have the correct sign in the original sum. So step 2, the sign of the sum is the common sign, and again, because we're adding two negatives, the common sign is negative, and therefore the original sum is negative 33.74. So negative 12.3 plus negative 21.44 equals negative 33.74. Let's also look at this sum on the number line. So to begin, to model negative 12.3, we would start at 0 and move left 12.3 units to negative 12.3. So negative 12.3 is just to the left of negative 12. And then from here, because we're adding negative 21.44, we move left another 21.44 units. Which brings us to negative 33.74, which is just to the right of negative 34. Again, negative 12.3 plus negative 21.44 equals negative 33.74. I hope you found this helpful.